Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day. Welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. In your news today, the environmental permit issued to ExxonMobil for the pipeline and natural gas liquids facility is likely to be challenged in the local courts, as the Environmental Protection Agency has been served a pre-action letter by international lawyer Melinda Janke on behalf of two Guyanese citizens. In the document, it is understood that the attorney-at-law has so far requested that the EPA revoke the permit granted to the oil company, as the agency did not have the legal power to authorize ESSO to construct a pipeline in the absence of the proof the developer owns the project lands, as required by Regulation 17 under the Environmental Protection Act. In her letter to the Executive Director, Kemraj Parsram, dated January 31st, Janke, on behalf of Elizabeth Dean Hughes and Danuta Radzik, explained, along the proposed pipeline route, individuals hold tracts of land under transports and leases. Further evidence that the land is held by Guyanese citizens and not by ESSO is provided by the orders published in the Official Gazette for acquisition of lands for the pipeline route. And miners and residents of Eterengbang community located in the Upper Cuyuni Mazaruni district in Region 7 are pleading for the government's intervention and possible solution to the quote-unquote abuse and outright robberies they are facing at the hands of the Venezuelan National Guard and the notorious Sindicato. In a letter of complaint signed by miners, shop owners and residents of Eterengbang, the residents highlighted their plight and explained that the situation has been going on for 6 years now. They said this had led to some people relocating, while others had to fend for themselves despite the presence of members of the Guyana Police Force and the Ghana Defense Force at the border between Guyana and Venezuela. According to the letter, there are 4 checkpoints between Acarabis and Eterengbang, 1 National Guard and 3 Sindicatos. The residents explained that all 4 checkpoints, they have to stop and allow the armed guards and Sindicatos to check their boats, and added to that, depending on what they are transporting, they are also required to pay about $2,000 per drum of fuel at all 4 checkpoints. They added that they also have to pay when transporting food and other supplies. Meanwhile, the Demerara Distillers Limited has secured a $22 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank to expand its production in milk and juice. The loan was facilitated through IDB's private sector arm, IDB Invest. A Ministry of Finance press release noted that the signing took place at DDL's headquarters and was overseen by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Rashni Singh. Moving on, the Guyana Energy Agency, headed by Dr. Mahender Sharma, has been supplied with evidence that the cost to generate electricity via solar is cheaper when compared to a gas-fired plant. This information was revealed by Alfred Boulay, an energy technologist, during a public hearing into appeals made by citizens for the waiver of an environmental impact assessment for the gas-fired power plant to be built at Wales on the west bank of Demerara. During the hearing, hosted at Cara Lodge in Georgetown on Wednesday, Boulay explained that Dr. Sharma who is also chairman of the Environmental Assessment Board, was furnished with these details but never acted on them. Dr. Sharma's role was to preside over the hearing to make a final determination as to whether or not an impact study for the project would be required. Bulai pointed out during an appeal presentation that Dr. Sharma had requested evidence for the less costly solar power alternative, which was supplied to the Guyana Energy Agency. In other news, 25-year-old Russell Alicock of Rupununi on Sunday afternoon lost his right hand after he was attacked by a giant caiman while on a fishing trip with a friend. We were informed that Alicock was attacked sometime around 14 hours that day while he was setting his seine in the Takatu Pond located in Anai, Region 9. A relative related that Alicock was the one helping to take the seine across the pond while his friend was some feet behind him. He said they decided to take a rest when the caiman launched his attack on Alicock. Alicock told the relative that the caiman had attacked him first between his legs when he started to fight back the reptile. He said while fighting back he called out for a knife, and that is where he stabbed the caiman. Alicock further related that the caiman then suddenly made one last bite and took off his arm, then disappeared. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We'll return shortly after the break.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Public Works on Monday commissioned the two new $2 million boarding bridges at the Chedi Jagan International Airport. At a simple ceremony held at the airport yesterday, Chairman of the CJIA Board, Sanjeev Dattadin, said that the boarding bridges, which are called Bridges 5 and 6, are an integral part of the development of the airport. He noted that these bridges are essential because in the past they had an apron and no way to get people off the plane and into the building. Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel, in his brief remarks, said that the two new boarding bridges are important in the modernization of the CJIA. And Guyana's top political leaders on Sunday promised to wipe out racism here and also touted their party's multiracial credentials at a memorial in honor of the PPP's late founder, Dr. Chedi Jagan. President Irfan Ali told a gathering of party faithful that all Guyanese are shareholders in the country's development and the PPP administration remains steadfast in meeting their needs. He pointed out that one of Guyana's greatest assets is the diversity of its citizens. However, there are some persons who are bent on weaponizing this important feature, using tactics to separate the nation. Those who are handling the weapon must understand that their days are numbered and will soon come to an end, the Guyanese leader stressed. Nurses attached to the Palms Geriatric Home have expressed concerns over what they believe is a move to exclude them from the increase promised to health workers last December. President Ali had announced major increases in the salaries for doctors, nurses, and allied health workers across the country, saying it was in keeping with his promise to ensure a better life for public sector workers, but also in a bid to attract young, talented professionals to medical field. However, an employee attached to the PALM said that months after the announcement was made, not all healthcare workers received the raise in salaries. The staffer, who spoke under conditions of anonymity, disclosed, in fact, nurses at the PALM's institution continue to be overlooked. Over 100 nurses are in the employ of Human Services and Social Security Ministry, and not one received that increase. Nurse with at least 40 to 20 years service being patriotic all these years and haven't received anything. End of quote. And to wrap things up, 21-year-old Swajit Jaikaran, called Akash, a laborer of Tushen East Bank, Essequibo, has admitted to breaking and entering and stealing from Dada's Grill restaurant and bar, which is located in Tushen. He pleaded guilty to the charge that was read to him, and the magistrate remanded him to prison until April 4th for a probation report and sentencing. The restaurant had revealed that during the wee hours of Wednesday, March 22nd, the defendant broke into the business premises, damaged a security camera, dismounted one television and removed the cash register, stole one cell phone and an iPad. The business revealed that at the time the cash register contained daily sales and tickets valued $3,500. And that does it for your News at Noon on Kaieteur Radio. My apologies. And of course, we wrap things up by being a little blunt by turning the pages of today's Kaieteur News to page 7. Fisheries Management Policy weak, says the FAO. The FAO deems Guyana's Fisheries Department management policy implementation as weak. Weak management and policy implementation means less investigations into fishing impacts. Less investigations mean less inconvenience for Exxon. Less inconvenience and exposure of Exxon means less fish for Guyanese. Guyanese fisherfolk going down, Exxon's folks are going up. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.